Hi Tarot Tribe, it's Ethany and I've got a bit of a longish video today. This is my 2015 kind of tarot-ish wrap up, and while I could talk all day about sort of the year that I've had, it's been a very interesting year. It's been a year of a lot of expansion for me, a year of learning a lot of lessons, a huge year in regards to business expansion. I've had a very good year, which I'm just so freaking grateful for. And I sit in gratitude and every single day for that. And I also work my tushy off, but I also am in a space of just being so thankful that I can do what I love and help support my family and be home with my son most of the time. So I'm just so super lucky, and I know not everyone is in that position. I got to see my family. For those of you who follow me on social media, besides YouTube, you got to see some photos of my trip with my parents, my stepmom and my dad, when they came here to meet their grandson for the first time. We went to the Rockies, and that was just like one of my most cherished memories of the year, was that family trip, because my sister came with us. It was just magic. We saw so many bears, and I just love the mountains, and I love the water, and the forest and the vibe. It's like, oh my God, take me there right now. So that was beautiful, and I miss them very much. I have lost. Oh yeah, I started a YouTube channel. Doi, that's what I was gonna say. I started a YouTube channel. I don't know why I haven't been doing this before, because I love to speak, but I did. I started it this year, and I love it. I connected with some freaking rad as people in the tarot community this year. I really felt like that was a big thing for me, was reaching out to a bunch of people and almost stalking a few of them. So sorry about that. But just I'm making amazing connections, and it's been so beautiful. So what I wanted to do to sort of summarize that all up is to share with you I'm looking at my notes, so bear with me. Two of the main lessons that I've learned this year for 2015, and then I'm going to go through my top decks that I've used this year, both Oracle and Tarot decks that I've used this year. And you probably, again, if you follow me in social media, you probably know some of these are coming, but these are the decks that I've really vibed with this year. Some of them were released this year, some of them are older. I'm not kind of going on the release date, it's more just, what I've been using and what I've been really loving. And I'm also going to give you a challenge at the end for those of you who want to join me next month for a challenge, and I hope to remember to do that at the end here. So first lesson can really attributes to the lessons that I've learnt while creating my two decks this year. So because I'm nuts, in a good way, I, as well as raising a son and running a business, I took on the creative sort of journey of putting together a Lenormand Oracle deck and a Money Magic Manifestation deck. And I painted them, and I wrote booklets, and I just spent like so much time on them. I had an Indiegogo campaign, which was successful in the view that it allowed me to get the deck to be published, so printed, and I put some of my own money towards that, which was completely fine. I mean, that's what you do when you invest in your business and when you invest in your creative ventures. But it wasn't like successful in the fact that the goal was reached and things like that. And I really had a lot of freaking anxiety around that. And with the things that are on the horizon for 2016, I'm now sitting in a space of, would I do something like that again, or how would I go about this process differently? But it was an amazing feeling releasing both of them and having so much support from everyone, and just seeing, everything on Instagram and people's unboxings on YouTube and posts on Facebook, and like that's just like amazing. And especially the feedback that I get from people who enjoy the artwork and who know that I took the time to be as inclusive as I can in the Prince Lenormand Oracle, of having you know, more than one significator cards for the male and female, and also for just a person, because we're not all, you know, gender roles and gender identification is a very personal thing. And so I've loved getting that feedback, and the feedback from the money magic manifestation cards of people just like it's changing their relationship with money and how they view it, and it's just prompting and triggering so much stuff in them, which is what they're supposed to do, which is amazing. And for me too, because I use them every day. So yeah, it's just been an incredible journey. But the lesson on that is that I can take up space, and I did mention this with the Tarot Ladies 22, she did a post, we did a post a while back, 22 tips for business for tarot professionals. And yeah, I can take up space. I'm allowed to have a voice. I'm allowed to take up space. I'm allowed to be heard. I don't need to apologize for being me, and I don't need to apologize for wanting to share my stuff and for being on the net and being on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. So I really had this thing of like being self-critical for a long time there about taking up space and taking up time. And I was like, it ain't my job. It's not my job to filter what I do. It's not my job to filter my creativity. Anyone who knows me, who has known me for a nanosecond, knows that I run like on full pelt pretty much all the time. I have huge amounts of portfolios full of creative work. I have so much writing on my laptop and in my journals. This is who I am. It's not something that I've forced out of myself. This is just who I am. I've always been musical and magical, and I've just been doing this for years. So it's not like I just went, oh, you know, decided that this year I was going to, you know, do that. It's like, no, this is really who I am. So why am I filtering myself? Why am I making my job diminishing myself? So I was like, nah, knock that off. So for you all out there who are thinking of taking your love and your passion and bringing it to the space of maybe turning it into a side business or a side hustle while you build your brand next year, or those who are ready to go pro, or those who just want to dip their feet into the world of spirituality and connecting with oracle decks and tarot decks, just do it. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying. Just be who you are, and you will find the people who are going to vibe and love you and support you, and that's just what I found. So no more filtering. I am who I am. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. That's cool. We all have our own journeys, and we all have our own tribes. So if you don't like me, then I'm just not part of your tribe, and you're not part of my tribe. That is super cool. So that was my first really big lesson. And my second big lesson is self-care. And I know this is something that gets bandied around the realms of spirituality like a wiggly awesome snake all the time. But I'm terrible at taking time for myself. I'm very good at taking time for myself to work. And this comes from the fact that when I left high school, I started working. I worked. And when I studied on top of working full time. So I have been working, you know, most of my life, and then came this baby in 2014, and then I just, you know, the baby came, you know, my son has come first, and he does a lot of the time because he's still a baby. That's what your job is as a mama, is to make sure you're taking care of your child. But taking care of myself is really difficult, and I am lucky that I have a partner who really does try to encourage that in me and to take time for myself. But I usually take time and then do other things like this. But this is good for me in another way. But it's not, I think for me, self-care in 2016 is going to be more physical. It's going to be more on the practical plane. And more, yeah, I just need to take care of my body more. And I did this thing that was just like so radical to me, which was getting someone to help me look after Dominic so I could have time to work. And that just felt so foreign, but it has been like transforming. I've gotten help for my business. I've, you know, hired people. I've outsourced work because I'm one woman. I can't do everything. So all those little things are self-care. And I do need to be outside more, and I do need to do more for my body. So can someone please freaking remind me of this, you know, like next month when I'm like, oh my God, I'm so busy. And you're like, bitch, please, you told us to tell you, you need to take care of yourself more. So we do need to take care of ourselves, and it's not just one of those things where we go, we all know this, but knowing it, and I give it as advice all the time, it comes up in my cards all the time for myself and clients, but doing it can be very, very difficult because there's a selfish feeling of it, especially for a mum, I think. Yeah, I used to be much better at being selfish. Now, not so much. So that's a really interesting lesson for me there as well. So I don't know if either of those things have resonated with you this year, but those are things that I've found for me, and I've had a really amazing year. I haven't had a year of misfortune. I've had a very abundant year. I've had a blessed year with my family. I have a healthy, happy baby boy. I have a loving partner. I have an amazing family. So hey, like, I know that I have a thriving business. So I know I am very, very lucky, so I don't, I'm not complaining at all. So now I want to go through the decks that I've used and that I have just loved this year. So I'm going to start with tarot decks, and these are in no particular order. These are just in order. This is just like the ones that I've worked with all year, that I've really enjoyed working with, and you may find something new, or you may be like, oh yeah, I use that too. Okay, so the first, my Morgan Greer. Oh, I love my Morgan Greer tarot so freaking much. I just love it. Yeah, this is, I don't have many duplicate decks. I don't have the space, and I just don't have many. I have 3 copies of this baby. This is my first one, and I still use, so I'm going to flip through some. I'm sure you've all seen a lot of this, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's fun to watch. I don't have many, duplicates, but I have 3 copies of this deck. This is still my number 1 working horse, and I have been working with this for years, but I was just like, oh my gosh, what if I just don't know if I can live without this deck. So I bought 2 more copies. So I have 2 more copies squirreled away in my cupboards, just because I love it. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I just freaking adore the pants off this tarot deck. I would marry it if it was a person. Sorry, Joel. I just love it. It just speaks to me on just so many levels. So that's the Morgan Greer. It's delicious. I just adore this deck. This was probably one of the most, I'd say one of the most well-known and oldest kind of borderless decks out there. I'm probably wrong. Someone probably knows better than me, but I think it's found newfound popularity because it is borderless, and there is a tinned version of this deck, but it is smaller. The cardstock is thinner. This is nice, thick cardstock, and the colors are different. I've seen them on Instagram because I was like, oh man, I am all up in that tinned business, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I have 3 copies of the original only. I've used it so much, it's like, it's all curvy. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of bowing. I don't care. I love this deck so much. It's like my tarot teacher, Gail, who taught me tarot in Australia, and her Mythic Tarot, oh my gosh, I'm sure she's still using it. It's probably one of the most used decks I think I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so the second deck that I have just like, oh my god, fallen in love with is the Circo Tarot by Tightrope Press. Now, I don't know, I know that there were some available for pre-order for Christmas and Yule and the winter holidays, but I don't know if there's any of them left. I've done unboxing video of this, in an interview. Oh my god, I can't even. And what's really cool about the versions going forward is that there's no border on the back because there's no border on the front, but I don't care. I've got a first edition. Oh, I'm happy. I love this deck. It just makes me happy to work with it. It does have a slight, you can see it's a shinier laminate, but the cardstock is freaking superb. The artwork is just amazing. Like, it just engages me so much. The pouch is awesome. It's, again, handmade by the artist. So I love, you know how much I love supporting independence. And people who create this stunning work. Oh, it's just so freaking awesome. Awesome. One of these days we're going to have a party with all of these amazing tarot and oracle deck creators, and we're just going to be like jamming out. Oh my god, that would be like at Disneyland. Wouldn't that be heaven? Or maybe the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. But this is just a beautiful deck. The card, like I said, the cardstock is phenomenal, and it is Rider-Waite Smith based, so you know it can be easy to pick up and work with for those of you who are working with that system. I just love it. This screen is not doing this any justice, so I would recommend that you go have a look on my site for the Circo Tarot and check out all of the info on there that I have, and just go look at it at Tightrope Press. I hope she's got some available for you, because it is a phenomenal deck. So that was the second deck that one of the other decks I've been working with. Whew, okay. Like I said, this is a longer video. Thank you for sticking with me so far. Next one is the Hidden Realms Tarot. I've had this for a long while. I've had this since it was released. Like I'm that tarot person that stalks Amazon for when things are pre-ordered. I love this card. Oh my god, I want that order so bad. And I pre-order stuff like straight away. That is what I do. So I've had this for ages. This guy reminds me of Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. So I have had it for a long time, but I didn't work with it, and I think the reason for it was that it felt like, and a lot of people have said this before, a deck full of court cards. And it's true, there are people on it, and it's not, you don't really have much prompts as regards to what it means for the Rider-Waite Smith kind of, or the meaning behind it. But I have grown to love the court cards in a whole new way, especially doing the Mastering the York Tarot Court course this year. So I've just found that I've just fallen in love with this deck. Another borderless one with the little golden words down below. Look, it's Llewellyn. The guidebook is great. The backs are just stunning. The cardstock it's Llewellyn. So it kind of bends pretty quickly. You know, Llewellyn, we would pay more to have just better cardstock across the board. All right. I think that's the only, oh no, those two, the Morgan Greer and the Hidden Realms, are the only two mass-produced decks that I have actually been working with a lot this year. Go figure. Okay, Spirits Week Tarot. Oh my gosh. Mary Elizabeth Evans. Another California native. Beautiful. I've done unboxings of this deck. I've done reviews and an interview with her. Ah, just love it. Borderless. It is smaller. It's so great to carry it with you. Black and white. Yeah. It's this. I mentioned it in my review that it really triggered my intuition in ways that I was not expecting. So that's why I've just adored this deck so much this year, and I've used it quite a lot. And I love giving it as much love as possible, you know, to get it out there and have more people see it. Cardstock is good. It's nice. It's not the thickest cardstock, but it's not the thinnest either. Really easy to shuffle. Really beautiful to work with. So that's the Spirit Speak. And again, you do get a little booklet. Mine's in the bookshelf. It's another independent deck. And I love supporting independent artists. So if you liked that, then check it out. That's that one. Next one. I want to give each deck its time, but I don't want you here to be here for an hour, so I'm going to make sure that the Fountain Tarot. Another group of people that I have connected with and just adore, and I hope to see at the Tarot Readers Studio in April next year. I mean, this deck was released, this year, I believe. I know it was a Kickstarter last year. Nothing can do this deck justice but holding it in your hands. The paintings are like just phenomenal and just so detailed. It's like a dreamscape. It is just beautiful. I have adored working with this. I love that it's nice and modern without losing the essence of, I mean, look at her. Shut up. She's so beautiful. Without losing the kind of essence of the tarot, it's given you a whole new perspective. The people look, like people that you would see. It's just awesome. The cardstock is amazing. It's silver gilded. It comes with this amazing keepsake box, which is called Shinies, and a really awesome booklet. The people from the Fountain Tarot are just amazing and lovely and friendly and super talented. So I've been working a lot with the Fountain Tarot this year. Adore it. Oh my gosh. I'm just thinking about next year and all the decks I want to work with. It's gonna be a busy year. So the Fountain Tarot, amazing deck. Oh, love it. Alrighty. We're getting there, folks. Next one is the Wild Unknown Tarot. So I've had this deck since it was released. I actually went, Kim did a tour of kind of like the West Coast of North America, and I went down to the Vancouver one to go and meet her, and this was very soon after I arrived. I didn't know where I was going, and I was too late to meet her. Her readings were all booked up. I was like, sad panda. So I bought the booklet with like the guidebook and kind of left. So I was very sad that I didn't get to meet her, but these things happen. So I've had it for a long time, but I've never worked with it. But this year, especially in the winter months, I've just been really called to work with it, and I really, really love it. I was sort of put off by it before because of some of the cards, like lack of detail, but now that's one of the things that I really love about it. Cardstock is spectacular, beautiful matte finish, shuffles beautifully. This is the first edition, which sold out this year, which she stopped carrying, and you can now get the second edition. So I don't have the second edition. I may get it next year sometime, but I don't have it now. This is probably one of the most popular tarot decks like out there, hey. Besides maybe the originals like the Marseille and the Thoth and the Rider-Waite. People get tattoos of this. I mean, I think there are like 2 million posts of this on Instagram alone that are done with the hashtag of the Wild Unknown Tarot. Like, that is crazy. So the success of this has been phenomenal. And it's just really beautiful. It's brought a whole